if you haven't come to my stand, folks, before we just get started, teaching people about LinkedIn is like doing a degree course in 30 minutes. It's pretty much impossible. So I'm also holding for free, for only people here and people I met today, a online Zoom on 6 o'clock on Monday. If you can't attend, don't worry. I can either get you a recording or we just jump on a one-to-one. All right, so there's a couple of QR codes to show at the end. QR code for my LinkedIn. And there's also a competition. If you haven't entered it yet, I'll talk to you about that at the end. Should we get started? You're all on here on time. You go for it. Yeah, you do. You go for it. Okay, I'll get it. I'll go. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. So, hi folks, I'm Dad. Some of you I recognise from my stand this morning. I'm Daniel Andersen-Tuffnell. So, I'm here talking about LinkedIn, but a little bit about my background and what I have done and what brought me to this stage is I'm all about adventure, and I studied adventure, did a degree in it, and travelled the world. I've been in Middle East, been in Vegas, been training, and I think some of you might have seen me this morning. My desire in life is to take people from their present state to their desired state in business and life. If that's making you more money or making you more productive, that's what I'm about. Hence why calling my business Business Mindsets. So in 2013, I was over in the Middle East, and I got approached by Spartan Race to do some scouting for them, started working with them internationally, came back into the UK and took over as licensee owner. So I took it from like 10,000 races to 30,000 races over a few years, expanded the kids course. It was a lot of fun. Problem being I didn't really sleep for 3 years. So I burnt myself out and my integrity and everything went spiraling. But it got me to my root cause of back into mindsets. So I came back into the county and did startup business coaching for the local authority, being a business dragon for Eastbourne, Hastings, Brighton, Portsmouth, launched over 700 businesses in the space of 2 years. A lot of fun, a lot of experience. They're still going today. My mum's handyman, I launched his business. So there's a bit of context. So excuse the puns. I thought I'd bring some humor in to the end of the day. So I'd like this to be interactive. So if you've got questions, feel free to ask as we go along. What does the M25 have? Traffic, absolutely, straight away. Bad traffic. What LinkedIn does have is good traffic. So if we've got a website, how much traffic is your website getting compared to how much traffic LinkedIn getting? And every day, 8.6 million people come into LinkedIn, and that's quite a lot of traffic. So how can we leverage that traffic and bring it into your profile and then drive it either into your inbox, drive it into your website, or drive it even better into a Zoom meeting or a meeting in person? For me, 8.6 million, I'm only after 10 clients. So that's 0.000116%. I think it's Kira, sorry. We were having a chat earlier. I think you're similar. You'll be happy with 10 clients, wouldn't you? So we're not talking big percentages that we've got to just convert. So over the next like 25 minutes, half an hour, I'm just going to take you a run through of some really, really top tier that I share to business owners that are running multi-million pound companies and people that are starting out on LinkedIn. And this stuff really works. My client the other week got Rolls-Royce as a client. I got another client who went from 5K to 20K, just implementing strategy, structure, and systems to their business around LinkedIn. So we've got the 5 Ps here. So I'm going to pop into the 5 Ps. I think I might have asked you this earlier. What's the first impression you want people to have on yourself? Not just your business, but what's that first impression? Now, this doesn't just resonate on LinkedIn. It resonates into your profile. It resonates when you go to a networking meeting. How do you want to come across? I absolutely want to be seen as an approachable, friendly, bad jokes guy. Yeah, I want to be having fun. I'm splendidly dyslexic. It's normally on my headline and my profile. I'm really dyslexic. I'm proud of being dyslexic. It allows me to think differently. So how you think this, go away and have a think about your profiles across social media. Is that first impression coming across on your profile? So we've got a client of mine here and me down in the corner. Dean is an e-consultant for e-commerce businesses, smashing it on Google Ads. So just a couple of examples. How many people have seen just faceless banners, people looking off screen, black and white? It's not really engaging. And then you come to the other side and that first impression, we're covering and getting engagement and getting people to think, oh, that's Dean doing this. And I'm going to talk about the big 7 later on, about getting the big 7 in your profile will really make an impact on essentially your objection handling before people have even had a chance to object to what you do. So knowing where to start. I love this. It's called a Penrose diagram. Again, I think it's part of my dyslexia. My eyes see it really differently. But I hear all the time, and especially today, go to my profile, you see I've got a post on it already today. 90% of people I've spoken today have an ad hoc strategy to their LinkedIn, or generally to their business, not a strategic approach to their business. So what happens when we start getting a strategic approach, we can start measuring. And when we measure something, we get an accurate result that we can build evidence-based decisions from. So if you want to study your sales, we can start looking at your numbers or your connection rate. To do that, we must have a clear strategy, a fundamental structure, and clear systems in place. Knowing where you want to go in your business or on your profile, for the reason you want to use LinkedIn, is about vision. The speed of your growth, the speed of what you do every day depends on you. So that's your decision on how fast you want to grow. And then what value are you offering and what value are you getting back? If you want to earn £1,000 a day or £200 a day or have bigger contracts, then does your profile reflect the value that you're putting in there, coming down to that first impression? Am I going too fast? Is this okay for everyone so far? Okay. So there's this great quote by, if you haven't read The E-Myth and you're an entrepreneur, who runs their own business here, by the way? Just quick hands up. Okay, a few of you. So a fantastic book called The E-Myth, The Entrepreneurial Myth. It's a bit of a classic now. And he talks about systems run businesses and people run the systems. If it turns the other way around and you've got a member of the staff just running the business, you lose them, the brain drain goes with you. So you've got to be really fundamentally about creating SOPs, standard operating practices. So you know what you need to do every single day. You don't need to think about it. You've just got it set. This is my routine on this system. And then you keep on compounding those systems up. You'll have a much more effective and profitable business. So, little pun in this. What's your number one KPI for LinkedIn? Any guesses? I know it's the end of the day. Any guesses? It's an acronym. I'll give you a clue. No? Right. You're a talkative bunch, aren't you? Have they all put you to sleep today? No, joking. So it's keep people informed. But we've got to keep people informed. Oh, ding, ding, light bulb at the end. By keeping people informed, we can do it in different ways, okay? And to do that, we have to optimize our profile at the bottom level. How many people have got a LinkedIn profile already? And how many people have got an optimized LinkedIn profile? Okay, look at the difference there. So if we've got a profile on LinkedIn, but not an optimized profile, anything above this is already going to become an ad hoc strategy. So your results are going to get fed up. You're not getting the results that you want. You're not getting the conversations you want. So to optimize the profile, and again, I'll go into this a bit more on Monday, or if you want a different call, there's like 21 sections of a profile. The ones in color have different weighting on the algorithm. So if you do more on them, it has a little bit more push on the reach or the algorithm. So LinkedIn personnel URL, we can change, you've got a little number. And again, I'll put a little video on this if you want to know how to do it. We can change your URL just to your name, so you don't have the little silly number at the end of it. We've got your background photo, the banner, the profile picture. Who's updated their photo this year on LinkedIn? Congratulations. So I was at a conference with the senior editor of the LinkedIn team earlier this year, and she was saying they've got this algorithm now. If you change your photo over 3 months, your profile will get a boost. If you change your banner, if you're updating your profile, and you'll see me tweaking my profile all the time. At the moment, I'm talking about speaking here today at DigiFest. I'll change it tomorrow because I'm at the business show speaking there in a couple of weeks' time. So there's lots of different parts of this profile that we can do. So I can't stress the importance of this slide. It is what LinkedIn want you to be doing, and it is what I would want you to be doing as my clients as well. 3 things. How do we create authority? Your authority, your thought leadership. LinkedIn's big in creating all of us as thought leaders. So to do that, increases our brand visibility. And to do that, it becomes down to storytelling. Instead of just blurring the information out, how can we turn it into a story? Because stories, have you heard the expression stop the scroll? When you're on whatever platform, make a note of what's stopping the scroll for you, whether on TikTok or on Facebook. Save that, and then you can think, right, that post registered for me. How can I duplicate that in my own words for my own content and use it as a template? And it's a really good little hack to build in ways of just positioning yourself and growing yourself as an authority. Again, I think this is the best slide I've ever written. It really does just go straight to the goldmine of what you can do. And this works for all platforms. The key to it, and we're down here, level 1 and 2, is who do you want to work with? Once we know who you want to work with, we can then study and think about what's the best way of interacting with them. We start following them, we then connect with them, we then start conversations with them, and then we convert with them. And then there's 2 different ways. We've got public activity, where we can comment, post questions, your feed, interacting with feeds. Newsletters are really good at the moment, and going on LinkedIn Lives. LinkedIn Lives are a pretty complicated thing because you need to use third-party software. Not really going to go into it today, probably not on Monday either. The other side of it is where the cash is king, like in the inbox, any social media platform. Funny enough, I might have mentioned this earlier, I don't refer to LinkedIn as social media, I call it business media, because it's B2B relationships. So if I send you a connection request and say, would you like to increase profits? And you accept that connection request, it's opened up me to be intentional, but yet soft and sell. If I come in for the hard sell, you'll be like, nah, thanks, Dan, back off. But if I do it in a fun way and say, oh, have you seen this article in the Harvard Business Review? It might help your business, and give value from the off. That's how I'm helping my clients and myself. So we can do direct messages. I've shown a few people today. You can send a video message. I can show this on Monday. A video message, an audio message, being warm, intentional. And I'm also running automations with myself and my clients as well, and in a very warm and intentional way. So, oh, I skipped a slide there. Some really common trends just to have a look about in the next coming day, even tomorrow morning. Have a look at your profile and just go back and think about what's the first impression my banner is saying. Come and have a look at my profile. If you want some more examples, I'll bring some up on Monday. Have you got a recent profile picture? When we come to the profile picture, it helps immensely if you're looking into the screen with your body language. If your body language is looking left to right outside the screen, psychological is throwing people off. So we want to be looking into the screen. Again, you'll see my body language is coming into the screen, so you're getting that level of a different engagement. If you haven't yet, turn on the featured section. So if you create a post, go to the 3 little dots and it says push at the top of the profile, and then you've opened up the featured section. Again, that gives you a great opportunity to share testimonials, your results, and everything on there, like fun news stories coming up. Again, I could talk about all day on this. I think this is when you're positioning your profile, so number 1, and to get your prospects engaged with what you're doing, think of 3 things. What's the short-term pain, the big problem, or avoid? You want your prospects to learn what you solve effectively. Once you've worked out the words that resonates with them, what you solve, then you can talk about you. What system do you do to get there? Your experience, your results, and who you're targeting to. So instead of just saying director, founder of Switchplane, no one cares if you're a director or a founder. They want to know what you solve for them. So position your solution in your headline or in your banner, and then it's bringing that, oh, Dan helps me solve, eliminate bottlenecks is one thing I've recently had. At the moment, I think it's your problem is my solution, or something like that. You'll see my profile in a moment. So from the director community, I've just doubled down on this. She really did say it's a big one if you've got location turned on, headlines, you're optimizing your headline, your experience section is fully complete. On your job titles, on your LinkedIn section, if you do not use the drop-down menu, you're missing out on the keyword search algorithm. You have to use the drop-down menu. If you start making up your own job title, that nullifies everything. And also, you've got 2,000 characters to put in that roles and responsibilities. The more characters, the more keywords you can put on every single role to boost your visibility across the algorithm. So it can really go big. And again, you can take a look at my profile, go down here, and you can see the impact it's having, because it's like it creates a wow factor, but you're playing the keyword game. Any questions so far? Any posing? Right, okay. So a couple of things. Here's a QR code for it if you're interested for Monday night. The key thing I would say, I'm just running a bit quick because I didn't know how long it was going to be. The key thing I would say when you're becoming prospecting is going back and really thinking who's your target market. Understanding the job titles of the people you're working with, understanding the director level or the HR director, and begin interacting with their profiles. If they're creating content, engaging with that content. If they're creating content on the company page, engage in the company page. Not many people engage with company pages. So you can quickly stand out to a prospect by engaging with their company pages and then going to their profile and connecting with them and saying, oh, that was a great post on your company page, or I'm intrigued by that bit of research. And you're finding every opportunity to do it. How many people have got a recommendation on their profile here? Yeah, fantastic. It's a really good weighted area that gets you a high score. I set you a challenge. Go every day for the rest of the year and give recommendations to anyone you've ever worked with. You're advertising your profile then on their profiles if they public it. And LinkedIn will love it because they suddenly see you on 100 profiles rather than just on your profile. And guess what? If you go and give 100 recommendations, you'll probably get 50 to 60 recommendations back, which again is going to boost that algorithm for your profile. This makes sense so far? Yeah, it's informative? Great. So LinkedIn algorithm is a life to its own. It gets quite very complicated, but you can't go viral. LinkedIn doesn't really want us to go viral anymore, unless you're a big influencer or you've got special connections with different people on LinkedIn. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The best way to think about it is that you want the people to be responding to your post, whether it's 1 like or 15 likes or a couple of comments from your prospecting market. That's all I look for. So one of the best tips I give for my clients, and it works every single time. What's your name? Amelia. Let's say I was on a sales call with Amelia. What's the biggest problem in your business right now? More clients. So tomorrow, right, we've been on a discovery call today and you've got a problem, more clients. Tomorrow, I create a post about 3 ways to get more clients. I don't tag Amelia into it, but I send her a DM and say, thanks for an inspiring conversation yesterday. Let me I've just written this from a result of our meeting. What does that position to you, to me? Dan's a thought leader. Dan's telling a story and helping solve my problem without paying him any money. And you're creating that relationship in that, giving that authority. Does that make sense? It's a very powerful tool. So when I post a content, I'm looking for a like or a little comment from someone I've had a sales call with or a discovery call with in the recent weeks. And guess what? You do that a couple of times, they're booking in a second call and you're getting that productivity, you're closing business. So I'll end with this because I've got a few minutes left and then we can do some questions. The 3 E's I think are really important. People say to me, how do I come up with a post? There's some really quick ways. Who's worried about posting here? Is anyone worried about posting? Don't worry about it. There's so many posts going on. We've got to stand up and be shouting about ourselves. Time is our most precious resource. We can't afford not to be doing what we really desire to do. So get over it, start posting. So to help you with that, create a post that educates your audience, create a post that might get engagement with it. It could be funny, it could be sarcastic, it could be a joke in the industry. Edutain them, have some fun with it. The other one, it could be a 4 E's as well, is make it evidence-based. People love statistics, people love hearing case studies or testimonials. So have a play with that. And one thing that's very powerful, who's got a diary or a calendar here? All of us. Have a look back. What's your name? You? Matt. Hi, Matt. What did you do last week? That was really fun. New Forest. And what are you doing this week? You're at DigiFest. Are you looking forward to something next week? Yeah. What's going on next week?
Speaking on a panel about neurodiversity.
So, fantastic. Neurodiverse, let's connect. So 3 things there Matt can post about on 3 different days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What I did last week, New Forest, what it got me thinking about. DigiFest today. I'm at a conference next week talking about neurofit. Guess what? That changes next week. Our calendars are always changing. 3 posts every week, past, present, future, educate, engage there. There's your content plan for the rest of your life. It's that simple. We don't need to overthink it. It's just JFDI it. If you don't know what JFDI is, maybe Google it. No, maybe not. Any questions? I could talk about this, and I do talk about this all the time, constantly for a Global Business Coach Academy. I talk about it to my clients. I talk about it to LinkedIn. I love this stuff. I love helping people go from A to B. So be free, ask me some questions. We're coming up to time, aren't we?
10 minutes.
Say again?
10 minutes.
I've got 10 minutes, fantastic. I can keep on talking. Okay, let's go into then LinkedIn. Dan was in here earlier, okay? So I'm going to have a call with Dan. He just couldn't hang around. So he's asking me loads of questions about his profile. So let me ask you, with what I've just shared you, what do we think of Dan's profile? Be nice, be horrible, whatever.
It looks pretty good, like the banner at the back looks pretty good.
Yeah, there's some really good things going on, okay? So he's got a banner. We saw that earlier. Some people don't have a banner. We saw that he's got a headline. We can have 220 characters in a headline. And I think that's a bit overkill now because people have got a lot going on. So maybe 115 to 150 characters in your headline. I normally like putting emojis in there and have some sort of what I refer to as a pattern interrupt. So I've got like splendidly dyslexic. I've got a client putting his handicap for golf. I've got another client saying he's a Liverpool fan. And he was really afraid saying he's a Liverpool fan in his headline. But guess what? It generated more business from other football fans because he's associating with football as a sport. So you put your passion in here. What does it do? It makes a really easy way for someone that is connecting with, say, for example, Matt, I'm really intrigued in diversity. It's a soft opener for someone to say, send you that connection request. Where I was talking with Matt though, is you see the difference here. He looks like he's in a police lineup right now. Yeah, I said this to him, I'm sure he won't mind. So he's a bit close to the screen as well. So it'd be coming back a bit and moving his body language and putting a bit more of a smile on. What's really interesting is the first 40 characters here go everywhere on your profile. So if you go and leave a comment, people will see the first 40 characters here. So make the first 40 characters of your headline really powerful, answering what you solve effectively, going back to that big 7, because that will have, again, an impact of like, that's an intriguing headline. How can I go and follow that person? That's caught my attention. How else do we gain attention? Is the color of the background photo. If we just come into my messages down here, I know it's quite a small screen. So you can see here, maybe Alan's standing out a little bit, but imagine if Alan's backdrop was yellow or pink. It pops. LinkedIn is the whitest website in the world. So the more we can do to gain attention and grab the eyes to draw in, the more we can be in people's minds to create that memory, that effectively that memory of standing out. The couple of little things here. If you see this gold emblem here, I've got this as well. So it means a premium or sales navigator. It means you can message them for free. So if you're on the free LinkedIn, you've got limited capacity on how many connections you can send out, and well, you've got that as well on the other profiles. But it allows you to message people for effectively free if they're a premium member. If you see a prospect that you really want to cover, make sure you click the bell and you can see their relevant posts, or you can see all their posts coming up in their notifications. And that way you're not going to miss it. Go in there, engage with them, and you can just build from there. So we'll come back to Dan's profile. As we look at his profile, now, he's got here, founder and CEO of DigiFest. Now, again, who really was, like, if his prospects, do they really care he's a founder and CEO? I ask this all the time. Most prospects, if we're not bothered by people's job titles, we want to know what we can do for them. So actually, Dan's launching a course for young people that are software coders, effectively, that are out of work. So we're creating some urgency. So we were talking about his profile earlier. He's got 23 spots remaining. He was telling me all this amazing content and none of it's here, calling it out. He's just being really kind of factual, skill-based. We've got to create that thought leadership, bring that story in and get that attention coming back to that first impression. If we come slightly further down, we can see the about section. And if you come into my about section later on, you'll see the difference. We can have 1,600 characters here. Oh, sorry, 2,600 characters in here. So if you do more than 3 lines, it becomes really block text. And people like me that are visual learners, dyslexic, we just give up on block text. We skip it. I'm not interested. So listicles, bullet points work really well. I have been talking all day. It's just catching up. So here's the surface section, the feature section. Make sure, oh man, I'm struggling. Going to have to ask some questions in a minute. Make sure you turn these on. They're really powerful and really adapt to the letting your audience know where your brilliance is. Okay, I'm going to drink some water. Come on, fire some questions at me.
Got a question about verified profiles.
Right, okay.
Setting it up, the value of them, is that a turn on or a turn off for people?
Yeah. let's just make sure everyone knows what a verified profile is. So I come over to my profile. This green tick is what Matt's talking about. And what it essentially means is that I've uploaded and scanned my passport and it's authenticated who I am. And so people know I'm real. Honestly, Matt, I don't see a difference since I've done it. I haven't seen a difference in my connection rate or my visibility. I think if they forced it on everyone and then removed all the fake profiles or people doing total volume automation, I think that's when it has an impact. I think long term, they're probably going to be pushing towards something like that because I'm on it, as you can imagine, a lot. I was like, well, I'm going to play with the feature. There's no point turning it off. And to be honest, it was a pain in the ass to upload the photo. To get it to scan probably took me the best part of 90 minutes. I was about to throw it out the window, the passport and the computer. It's something you can do. It's not a priority, I would say. Good question though, because there's loads of different features like this. Anyone else?
Is it worth? I mean, you said in premium you can send more messages. Is there anything else in premium that makes it worth paying for?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me to pay for Sales Navigator. It's 80 quid a month, and so what's that? Just nearly £800 a year. So what an average client to me is 25 grand, or over a period of years it could be 150 grand. So it's an absolute no-brainer because it allows me to search. By having Sales Navigator or Premium, you get LinkedIn Learning, for example, but you get more of a search option. If you're just on free LinkedIn, you only get, they limit your search and they limit the best people from that search as well, but they don't make this public. So if you're playing around on free LinkedIn and you're like, oh, I'm looking for CEOs of, art or something like that, then they won't give you the best leads because they obviously want people to come onto Sales Navigator to get those best leads or sales premium. For me, I think, depending, what's your business?
I'm fractional operations director.
Then I would think it would be worth it because then you're, again, one of the key things is building a network. No matter what the size of your network is today, how many people here are sending out a minimum of 50 or 100 connections per week? Congratulations. Well done you. You get the gold star. Look at you, show off. Right, well, perfect. But that's a great example. What's your business?
Web design.
Web design. Okay. So the power is in, any business is the power of your data of your business. So building an audience is critical, whether at the beginning of the journey or halfway through the journey. If you start on the volume of sending out consistently 50 or 100 connections a week, that's 400 connections by the end of the month, which is a 4-week month. Let's say you get a 25 connection rate, you can start seeing the numbers. What's your conversion rate from 25%? You can then start working out and reverse engineering how many connections you need to send out to get a certain amount of business in. For me, every quarter, I hit around about 5,000 connection requests going out because I know it's going to deliver me 5 to 10 clients. So it's a volume game, number one, but it was also building my audience. So in 5 years' time, I'm what, 6,000? I'm actually, for a different reason, I'm actually culling some of my audience, but that's a whole different topic I can talk about on Monday. But let's say in 10 years' time, this could be over 20,000. So if I launch then an online training and I've got a really targeted audience in my leisure, sport and an events sector, I've got a database right there to target to in the future. So, and if you don't send out the volume that, sorry, I didn't get your name, Alexandra and I are doing, then you don't get that week back. I just mentioned time is our most precious resource. So we've got to be connecting with people every single day. Why I'm here today, I've had 40 connections going out, running through automation. So I'm fantastic. I could come home, I could have 3 leads in the back, at the back end. So well done to you, Alexander. Building your connections is key, but to do that, when we're coming up to this proactive approach, we've got to know who you're targeting and connecting with. So what niche are you working in? How are you targeting that? So once we get to that proactive approach, then we can start A/B testing messaging campaigns. We start A/B testing messaging campaigns alongside your posts. LinkedIn newsletter works really effectively. You could put that into a messaging campaign and say, oh, come and follow my LinkedIn newsletter, and you're giving huge value over here. So it's omni-channel approach between public and private, but the real win on LinkedIn is being really active in the private area, in the DMs, doing video messaging, audio messaging, and just being really consistent. So how many people have sent a connection request and they've had silence back? They've connected with you, but it's been utter silence. And did you keep on following up? Silence is not a no. Silence is an opening to carry on messaging in a polite, friendly way. I could do it 10 times. There was a client I signed about 3 years ago. I think it was 42 interactions before we actually got on a call. And that client's still with me today, paying me really good money. But I had the consistency to show up 42 times. The power is in the follow-up of any type of business, not just LinkedIn. Thanks very much, guys.
Sorry, I have to go, but I have a quick question before we get trained.
Sure.
What happens if I sent a request out to someone?
Yeah.
Right, and I was like, I sent them a message like, hey, I'd like to connect because I'd like to attend your event or maybe speak, and they just like ghosted me, and then I felt like, was that too hard to sell?
No.
Because I wanted to speak.
No, pick up the phone, say, oh, I've sent you a connection request. Can I speak at your event?
Okay, so like over the phone.
Yeah, at times we just got to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of it. Just pick up the phone and say, can we do some business?
Okay.
Yeah, and again, any type of prospect, it's great. We can do everything online and DMs and everything.
Brilliant, thank you.
No, bro, I'll see you Monday.
Cheers.
Pick up the phone. It's the quickest way to getting business is just pick up the phone and talking to people. Thank you so much for coming along. Do you get a train as well? Okay. Good luck on the trains. I hear they're a bit dodgy today.
I have a question.
Sure.
Could you share some information about that top voice badge?
Sorry, the top voice badge. Yes. So
Sometimes I see it on people who don't even have that many connections or don't even post that much. So I'm wondering how does that
yeah.
work?
So I actually used to have 3, and I'll give you my honest opinion. They're closing it down next month. It's going. They're dropping it because there's been loads of complaints in the LinkedIn community about it. To get this badge, and it's on my other banner. So I had emotional intelligence and had another one as well. To do that, I had to go on to like a AI generated conversation and give my value. So I did that over 60 days to earn the badges, but it's like huge amounts of different industries. But they've dropped it now because loads of people were just setting up automation, and it's an AI-based question, and they were just asking AI to reply to the question. And it was this like, it generated something like 10 billion bits of content for LinkedIn, but it's basically AI talking to AI. I mean, I actually went in there and did it. Geeky Dan went in there and thought, I want the badge. And I did it generally giving loads of opinion. And I'm like, and I've had a client, Dean, who I showed earlier, he did it consistently and he's never got the badge. So we've sacked it off. And LinkedIn just announced 2 weeks ago, they're dropping it.
It's from those messages where they're like, you've been invited.
Yeah.
to
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not worried about posting, the best thing you can do before you start posting is go and comment 10 times a day on your prospects. That will generate you far more engagement and people coming to your profile rather than, oh, I posted and I've had 1 like. Do not worry about impressions on LinkedIn. I gave up on worrying about impressions all the time. I used to have 9,000, 10,000. Now, sometimes I get 200 or sometimes I get 500 or 1,000. But let me flip the script on that. And the fact that who here would like to speak in front of 200 people right now? You wouldn't. Some people don't like public speaking, do they? So if 200 people read your post, that's a great thing, not a negative. Let alone, oh, I've gone viral. Do you want to talk in front of 50,000 people in a stadium? Probably not. Right, I think that's it, folks. I'm about to lose my voice as well. Thank you so much.